A few months ago, I made a video covering every reboot slash revival based on a childhood television series that was in the works. Thing is though, a bunch of other projects in similar vein have been announced, teased, or leaked since then, and it's getting kinda ridiculous. So I thought since the first video did pretty well, I'd run it back and make a part 2 to that video to inform you guys which revivals you should be looking forward to and which ones you might want to stay away from. Let's do this. Alright, let's start off with some Cartoon Network fan favorites. In June, NBC held their annual animation festival where a bunch of projects based off of Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network IPs were announced. We also received updates on previously announced projects like the Foster's Preschool Reboot series, which we now know will be called Foster's Fun Time for Imaginary Friends and will take place in the same universe as the original show, just in a different part of the house. And yes, Craig McCracken, aka the series creator, will be coming back. But as for the new announcements, well, let's just say it's time for some adventure because 3 new Adventure Time projects are in the works. The first one is an untitled movie that, if I had to guess, takes place after the events of the original show. We know literally nothing else about it besides the fact that they assembled some pretty big talent behind it, like Rebecca Sugar, you should know who that is, Patrick McHale, who created Over the Garden Wall, and Adam Muto, who was a showrunner for Adventure Time back in the day. However, even the 2 previously mentioned worked on Adventure Time at some point, so they got some vets for this one. The only other thing known is that it'll see Jake and Finn embark on their greatest adventure yet, which is probably the most overused description of a movie based on a long-lasting IP ever. But I don't know, man, considering the talent they have for this one, this could be something worth looking into if you're a fan of Adventure Time. We're also getting a whole new spin-off that's already been greenlit called Adventure Time Side Quest, that presumably will go back slightly in time and deal with a younger version of Finn who merely dreamed of epic quests and monster fights with his best friend, Jake the dog. What sets the show aside from the original though, besides the difference in age of course, is that instead of the lore-heavy narrative spread across episodes and seasons like the original show, this one will focus on standalone episodes starring early versions of fan-favorite characters. The only name attached to the show so far is Adventure Time artist Nate Cash. And before you say that this just sounds like a preschool show, also announced that NBC was the actual Adventure Time preschool show entitled Adventure Time Heyo Bimo. And we actually do have some art for this one. If there was any Adventure Time character to get their own preschool show, it would definitely be Bimo, let's be real. I do find it interesting though how CN and WB are putting an emphasis on preschool shows nowadays. It reminds me of when they used to have that block back in the day called Tickle You, which was supposed to rival Nick Jr., but of course it didn't last nearly as long. I don't have much of an opinion on the other projects announced, but I do think it's about time Adventure Time got a movie because it almost got a theatrical one during the show's heyday, but it eventually got canceled. I do want to know what you guys think about these projects in the comments below, especially the 2 spin-offs that were announced. Another 2010s Cartoon Network show is making a comeback, and hey look, I actually predicted this one. That's right, Regular Show is coming back to a TV screen near you, as creator J.G. Quintel is bringing the series back to some capacity. Admittedly, I never really watched this show a lot, as I was much too focused on the action Cartoon Network shows back then, but I do know that this is one of Cartoon Network's most beloved series ever, still having a large fan base to this day. I did see that some people were upset that they're bringing the series back after the show's well-received finale, but considering the original creator's involvement, I do doubt this will just be a cash grab. Plus, one of the only things about the series that has been revealed is that the show is entirely new, though it will feature some characters from the original show. So it sounds like this will be more of a spin-off than a complete remake or revival. So Regular Show fans, you can have a little sigh of relief in that. The last new series announced at NBC shouldn't surprise any of you, as this franchise, like Doomsday, always seems to come back. It appears we are getting yet another Scooby-Doo series, but this time with an interesting twist. The new series, titled Go Go Mystery Machine, will see Scooby and Shaggy in Japan as they solve mysteries and hunt monsters while being surrounded by new characters. Judging by the artwork on screen, it definitely seems like this new show will be heavily influenced by anime, sort of like the new Superman series. And although it seems like Fred, Velma, and Daphne won't have prominent roles, if any at all, in this series, I'm actually looking forward to seeing new characters added to the Scooby-Doo canon. I think this has potential to be really cool, plus I'm always down for a new Scooby-Doo series. Funny enough, I actually talked about Scooby-Doo in my last Reboots video as well, since there's apparently a live-action reimagining of the show in the works over at Netflix. So if that still happens, that means that there will be 2 Scooby-Doo series going on at the same time. I'm hoping they're both good because I am a Scooby-Doo fan. But at the same time, you just never know, especially with that live action one. Speaking of live action remakes, Totally Spies is getting one, apparently. And it's being produced by Will Ferrell. Am I reading this right? Totally Spies has been getting a lot of attention lately because a new season of the series came out earlier this year, and now we're getting a complete remake in live action form. I'm sorry, Will Ferrell? What does he know about Totally Spies? All right, so for those unfamiliar with the show, Totally Spies was a French animated series that originally aired in the early 2000s, commonly found on networks like Cartoon Network in the US, which is how a lot of us grew up with it. The show was about 3 teenage girls, Sam, Clover, and Alex, who balanced their everyday lives as high school students with their secret identities as spies working for the World Organization of Human Protection. The show became a cult favorite, but please do not look up art for it online. Stay away. The new adaptation, produced by Will Ferrell's Gloria Sanchez Production Studios, which is known for making female-led stories, is being produced by Amazon MGM Studios, and it looks like it'll be aimed towards a younger audience, just like the original. I don't know, I mean, I kind of get it, but at the same time, why not just make something new? Oh wait, it's 2024, never mind. No release date is set, as it was just recently announced, but I wouldn't expect it anytime soon. I'm sorry, Will Ferrell? Switching over to Nickelodeon, you guys remember the Thundermans? Remember when the Thundermans returned? Well, now they're returning again. Building off of the extremely successful Thundermans revival film, a new spin-off of the series based on Phoebe, Max, and their littlest sister Chloe has started production this month. Variety reports that the spin-off series will follow Phoebe and Max, who are sent undercover to handle a new threat in the seaside town of Secret Shores, and bring Chloe along to develop her superhero talent. As for the other Thundermans family members, it seems like they'll still appear in the spin-off, just in guest roles. I honestly feel like Nickelodeon didn't expect the Thundermans return to do as well as it did. The special premiered ranking as cable's #1 entertainment telecast of the year with kids, which although isn't as impressive in 2024, still means something to Nickelodeon. It only makes sense that they'd capitalize on its success by making more Thundermans content, since there seemingly is an audience for it even 11 years after the show's debut. Plus, with the Thundermans returns introducing the show to an entire new generation, I would not be surprised if this spin-off series does well. There's no release date yet, but we do know that we can expect it to air on both Nickelodeon and Paramount+. These next few shows likely go even deeper into your childhood than the others because, well, you probably watched them before you even started school. In some way, shape, or form, there seems to be a bunch of revivals of preschool shows happening, so let's run through them real quick. I somehow missed this one in my first video, but Warner Bros. Discovery is bringing back Barney, and what's interesting about this one is that instead of it being a live-action remake of a cartoon, this one is an animated remake. The series is called Barney's World, and as of now, it looks like it'll air on Cartoon Network and Max, though you should expect this to be part of Cartoon Network's preschool block, Cartoonito. Footage for this actually leaked online recently, and obviously I cannot play it, but it's certainly something that people made. It looks trash. I won't sugarcoat it. I don't like bashing stuff before it officially comes out, but like, anyway. Considering there's been some leaks recently, it shouldn't be too long until it officially comes out, but proceed with caution, alright? This next one already came out this month, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. Y'all remember Yo Gabba Gabba? How could you not? Well, the show is officially back and available on the Apple TV streaming service. This new series is called Yo Gabba Gabba Land, and one of the big changes you'll notice is the absence of DJ Lance Rock, who has been replaced by a little girl named Cammy Cam. Somewhere there is a grown man who pays taxes and everything that is mad that they replaced Lance, but I mean, come on, really? I doubt the 3-year-olds this was intended for care. I'm assuming that the show, outside of the host change, is pretty much the same. They even kept the beatboxing segment, but obviously, with the unfortunate passing of Biz Markie, they replaced him with Reggie Watts, who is also very talented. One of my favorite things about Yo Gabba Gabba was definitely the music, and it seems like they're still putting a bunch of effort into that aspect because they got some pretty high quality musical guests. Man, they got Anderson .Paak, Thundercat. Fam, is that Big Daddy Kane? Oh yeah, this show fire. Like I said, it's already streaming on Apple TV, so feel free to give it a watch. I have a surprising amount of parents that watch my channel, so I guess I'm really talking to you guys. But I mean, hey, you don't have to have kids in order to watch kids entertainment. I, out of all people, should know that. Plus, this looks like a fun expansion on the Yo Gabba Gabba franchise. Don't hate it just because it's new, there's no need for that. That is, of course, unless you're the next reboot on this list. This abomination can burn eternally. Let me tell you, I loved the Backyardigans as a kid, and I still do. They had a banger after banger after banger. And, to be fair, I have been open to a reboot of the show for a while because I feel like kids deserve to grow up with a show like that. Even if we don't want to reboot it, maybe just remaster the episodes and air them on Nick Jr. That'd be cool. But like this is unacceptable. A month ago, the official Backyardigans account uploaded a remake of the song Castaways. While the song is basically the same, just with some new voices, the animation and designs, on the other hand, are not it. The first video got a ton of views. However, when you check the like to dislike ratio, you can tell that a lot of it was hate watching. And it didn't take long for the entire internet to find out about it and start trashing it as well. It was kind of weird. I don't remember an announcement ever being officially made about this or anything. It just kind of spawned out of nowhere. And after doing some digging, it turns out that this is all part of a new initiative to reimagine the Backyardigans discography for a new generation. So the show itself is not coming back as of now. They're only remaking the songs. In the long run, the idea of remaking some of the Backyardigans songs won't mean anything, but it's the way that they're doing it. Like, bro, what are these designs? Despite this product being pretty lackluster, I would like to point out that by no means should you use this to target or harass anyone working on this. A lot of people did that for Camp Coral when it first came out, and that was beyond stupid. You guys know me, I love cartoons, I love animation, all that stuff. But if you care that much that you're willing to harass another human being because they made something, for children mind you, that you did not like, then you are the problem. My beef with this is that I just think it looks bland and uninspired when comparing it to the original. Not to mention, 2 of the members aren't even there. Where is my boy Austin? Hashtag justice for Austin. Truthfully, I don't even really blame them for doing this. The idea of it isn't bad. But like, y'all can't do better than this? Respectfully? But hey, if the kiddies like it, then whatever. This one is a show that was released way after I was done watching preschool shows, but I know a lot of you grew up with this one, so I'm including it anyway. Sofia The First, according to Hollywood Reporter, is getting a sequel series called Sofia The First Royal Magic, with original voice Ariel Winter and series creator Greg Gerber, both coming back. The latter adds that the sequel will lean into the emotion and comedy of a young princess who is in a new school with new friends, learning new skills and encountering stories that teach her about teamwork and friendship and leadership. That same article points out that each episode of the series will include 2 11-minute stories with a new song in each one. That is a change from the original show, which told stories in a 22-minute format, which is actually kind of surprising for a preschool show. I can't name any shows meant for kids that young that actually had 22-minute stories, so I don't blame them for changing this up. I don't really got nothing else to say though. I have never seen this show. Theme song slaps though. And for this last one, there is no article. This technically has not even officially been announced yet. And the only reason why I am including it is because I just so happen to have been at the event where this project was teased. So I mentioned this in one of my videos a few months back, but I actually got the chance to see Big Time Rush in concert earlier this month. It was fun. I enjoyed myself. It's honestly really cool to see how many people were still rocking with the group after all these years. I even saw a couple people in tree hats, which was a very nice callback to the show. And so basically, in the middle of the show, they heavily teased a Big Time Rush film. And I actually just so happened to be recording around that time. But like the first few words are cut out, so just use your imagination.
So you can't confirm it or deny it. I can't confirm it or deny it, and you didn't hear it from me. I'm just putting it out there. Carlos, everybody here has cell phones. They're all recording this. So. But I cannot confirm nor deny, and you did not hear it from me. Well, I can't confirm or deny that we're working on new music. No.
And then after doing some research, I saw other stuff online that teased the existence of this movie, or at least the fact that they've begun writing one. And from what I've heard, it looks like it'll be an actual adult version of the Big Time Rush show. Hopefully they chill with some of the sound effects though. I'd imagine it would be on Paramount Plus, as Nickelodeon still owns the Big Time Rush show, but I guess we'll find out later. I can't say I'm excited necessarily, because this easily could end up being terrible, but I mean, it's not like we're getting a Zeke and Luther revival anytime soon, so I mean, I gotta have something. This does lead me to ask though, which one of these reboots/revivals do you have the most interest in? And which one are you the most cautious about? Let me know in the comments below. Teen Beach movie video coming soon, y'all. Stay tuned. Members of my Patreon can actually watch it right now. For those who are new, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe. And until I see you guys again, I am Mr. Nostalgia, and I'm out for now. Peace.